going on, everybody? This is pretty high, actually, now that I'm looking at it. That's better. What's happening? It's been a minute, hasn't it? I mean, in U.S. Thanksgiving, I was in Idaho. What's going on? Arubananja? Hi, everyone. What a beautiful day, isn't it? Wherever you are. I mean, we're breathing air, our hearts are beating. I mean, those are two positives right there. When you struggle to find something grateful for, just be grateful for air and your heartbeat. That's just a great way to start. Even though you might not be happy in this exact moment, just being able to breathe is pretty phenomenal. Thanks, I'm growing out this very dirty beard. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see what happens with it. If I go by a playground and kids run, then I know that I need to trim it. That's a really good sign that it's time to get rid of it. But I've never actually grown out my beard because I've always been afraid of how dirty it gets. So I don't have that long. I only have 15 minutes, which I know. Hi everyone, it's so good to see you. So I'm going to talk about something that I think is topical for everybody, and I don't say that to grasp everyone's attention, but you should listen to this one because I think this is very topical. So there are usually two roles that we take in relationship, and remember that every way that we look at relationships is just different templates. So you could take attachment, so anxious versus avoidantly attached, codependency, where one person is trying to heal an addict and the other person is an addict of some sort or has a behavior that's dysfunctional and the other person is trying to fix the behavior. The person who has the bad behavior will be more avoidant. The person trying to fix the behavior will be more anxious. So every way that we look at relationship is really just a form of a system or a template in order to understand relationships. But I want to explain to you something that happens very often in relationship is, if you identify as someone who is usually chasing people, who's usually running after them to get caught, you find you're the one who's usually seeking love and wanting a relationship, and you're usually probably chasing people who are running, who are not as available, who are emotionally unavailable, who, as soon as you get too close, they push away, or as soon as you enter a relationship, they break up with you. All these different ways that we avoid or deal with insecurity in terms of relationship. That's it. Is both of them are ways that we deal with insecurity in relationship. They're just opposite ways of dealing with it. One person is insecure but chases love because of insecurity. The other person is insecure, so they run from love because they don't know how to handle it. So they get too close to people and they push them away. So here's what usually happens when both of those people, either role, so you could take either role and you can fluctuate between the two where you're chasing love and then you get it and you're like, oh, I got it. I don't know what to do with it now. I've never gotten it before. Right. So this is learning, because what usually happens with people in relationship, again, two different roles, they're just different templates and systems of understanding how relationships work, is that we go from being too open, I let too much shit happen, I get walked on, I chase too much, I give too much of myself away, I text too much, to being too closed, to not being available, to running from people who are really good for us. And so you can usually find that if someone chases very unavailable people, they are what we would call like eroticizing their wound. They're making their sexual desire go where their pain is. And so that's why when you actually are attracted to people who are not great for you, you actually have to take some time to reprogram what's attractive to you. So that's when you feel not attracted to people who are really great for you. You can't just go and pick them because your attraction, desire, the chemistry has not been redesigned yet. So what you do is you first say no to the drug, the unavailable person, the person that you're chasing. And the other thing, if you're the person who is constantly running from love, you know who the fuck you are. You know who I'm talking to. You're picking people who are after you. But as soon as these people who are ingeniously the best catches in the world, you just can't stay close to them. No matter how much you try, you want to be chosen by them, but your heart just won't let you. It's a really scary place to be in, because I've been in it, because this person's qualities are everything you want, but there's something holding you back from being able to choose really great people. But you desperately want love. And so both of these are just different ways of being scared of pain. One runs and grabs onto pain and keeps getting fucking dragged along behind, right? Oh, fucking hell. And the other one is like, no, I want nothing to do with it. I'd like to have sex though, and I'd like to, orgasm a lot, or I'd like to text and keep a little distance, or I'd like to sext and keep a little distance. Like I'll send a picture of my dick, but I don't want to actually ever see you in person. This is all these ways that we could create limits on how much we allow people to love us. So here's what usually plays out in the relationship pattern is we go, okay, I like you, you like me. Okay, I'm finally gonna say yes to this person who's amazing. And this other person is like, oh my God, they're saying yes. I can't wait to get them. This is amazing. No one's ever said yes to me. I'm so used to chasing people. So they choose to perform to get into a relationship. They've probably already, whatever combination of things you have. So you choose to decide to go in a relationship, and then you get close, and all of a sudden, one of you or both of you is like, oh, fucking hell, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And so they can't, so what has happened there is you can think of it like PTSD, a template, post-traumatic stress disorder, right? You get to this place, and something you might not be conscious is triggered where you've been that close before, but it led to pain, trauma, emotional pain is trauma. So you get to this place and your body codes red alert, I've got to get away. And so this is what usually happens is someone who's always been running from pain, but maybe got hurt in a previous relationship or as a kid, is they get to this place and then they're like, no, I got to go. And that's okay. That's a defense mechanism to protect yourself from being too close. Now the other person here is going, hey, wait, you said you were gonna stay and we were gonna do this thing. And the other person's like, I don't know, I can't do this, it doesn't feel right. Okay, now it's really hard, when I was this person, it was really hard for me to understand how to meet this person without blowing the relationship up, without running from it. So what I needed to do, I could not choose this. I don't know what, I just couldn't. My gut would not let me, my heart would not let me, because I still had some fucking work to do. But now that I've been through all of that, I can tell you that you can do that work with someone who is willing to give you space to process it. Now the thing about relationships, when you're getting to this point where you've already been, I'm still holding my fingers up, when you get to this place where you're getting to the edge of where you've been before and you want to get really hurt, remember, processing your pain is not selfishness, it's priority, it's really important. So you get to this place, the really important thing if you want to build a relationship with this other person who might have some anxiety, right? Who, now that you've triggered their abandonment issues. And so this person really has to go and say, I've got to stop chasing. So both people have to learn new patterns of ways of connecting with another. The one who's used to chasing has to stop chasing. That's like quitting a drug too. Because what's happened now is someone's facing you and saying they want to love you, but they're a little scared and you're going, no, don't get scared, and you want to chase. So instead, what you need to do is just stand still. And you just go, okay, I'm here for you if you need me. Now you can have a time limit on how much you're willing to wait. That's very important for you. You have to have a time limit on when you're going to feel like you're abandoning yourself. Now, the second person here has some work to do because they've gotten to the edge of their pain. They've probably been past this point before and gotten really hurt. And so what they need to do is they need to breathe and take some space and breathe and just understand and go, what am I afraid of? Where have I been? What do I need in order to feel safe and secure to just take a micro step towards this? Sometimes relationships just don't feel right, and that's okay. That's okay. You don't want to misforce chemistry that just doesn't work. But often when we get to these places of conflict, I want you to understand that anytime there's this place of conflict, there's actually an opportunity for both of you to go deeper. But the thing is that what most people do is they blow up or eradicate the security of the relationship. So they leave it. They say, oh, I can't be in this. As opposed to saying like, we choose each other first. We can process things, we can learn things, we can grow. But this relationship is a container where we can work on ourselves and work on the relationship. Now, it's very hard for people when they are in relationship, they get too close and they have formally lost themselves in relationships before. So what most people, I said people, if you go back to the start of this video, you'll see that I said that people are often way too open or way too closed. They don't know how to hold on to who they are and be in love. So they get close to someone, they decide to be in a relationship, they get close, they're emotionally in love, and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, I can't do this. I don't know what's going on. This feels way off. But you just went from like crazy chemistry and love to like, what the fuck, save me, pull the chute. So the real difference here is we don't know how to stay open and hold on to ourselves. And so that requires this moment where you're really close and you're feeling love, and maybe you're having sex and you're feeling chemistry, and then all of a sudden you withdraw and you recoil after. It's really important that you don't just abandon the relationship. You actually just hold for a moment and you express to the other person, I'm really scared. I don't know what's going on for me, but this is really tripping me out. I was just so into this and now I'm scared and I feel overwhelmed and I don't know what it is, but let me process it. Do you mind? I just need to take some space to process it. What I need from you, this is really important. What I need from you is to just hold, and I'm gonna come back. I choose this, I choose you, but I really need to do some work here. And that's where you can watch videos like this and you can learn why the fuck you're doing that. And then you're like, holy shit, that's why I'm doing that. And then you can go back and what you got. I just got an emergency test of the British Columbia service. Don't worry about that. Okay, sorry. So what you can do is you can go back to this person and you can say, I know what we need to do. And this is important for all of you. Designing a relationship, in a relationship, is as a couple, this is the one agreement we all fucking need to have. All couples need this. This is the primary thing for all couples. All couples need to make safety and security the number one priority of their relationship. The psychological safety and security in their relationship to share what they're scared about, to share what's not going right, to say, I miss you, to say, I actually need some space to me right now. I gotta go for a walk by me. I gotta have coffee by myself. I gotta go do a workout by myself. I gotta hang out with my homies. That is so important that you as a couple create a baseline agreement that there is safety to be scared. There is safety to be unsure. There is safety to communicate when things aren't okay. And if you're on the other side of that, you gotta stop making things all about you. You gotta stop being like, well, what about, you gotta hear your partner. You gotta hear them. They're telling you what they need. It's not always about you. Sometimes it's about the relationship. Sometimes they have emotional needs. So it's really about holding that other space and saying, okay, I can do better. But it's not doing it at the cost of yourself, because a lot of people listen to that advice and they go, you know what? I try and try and try. I should try more. There's a point where you try too fucking much and you give too much and you abandon yourself. So if holding that space is about abandoning yourself and you feel like you've lost yourself in doing that, then it's not good for you. That means you've gone too far. And you're the only one who knows that. But if your friends are telling you, like, you need to move the fuck on, this person is taking advantage of you, they're never changing. Like, if someone's words and their actions don't match, you guys hear me say this shit all the time. If someone's words and actions don't match, that's a red flag. Most people go, oh, but, always believe their actions. Bullshit, because sometimes they'll say to you, I do not want a relationship with you. But then they're banging you and they're treating you like a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and you're confused. Well, of course you're confused because their words and actions don't match. But of course you want to believe the thing that feels better, which is, but they're treating me like a boyfriend or girlfriend, so they must want to be in one. No, they told you the truth, but their actions mismatch. But they're someone who doesn't want a relationship but wants to have sex. That's common, right? People don't want the emotional intimacy that's related to intimacy. Most people are intimate and emotional without the sexual connection, or they're sexually connected without emotional intimacy. They don't know how to, a lot of people don't know how to dance between both. But if anyone has a red flag, that's a massive red flag when words and actions don't match. And what the red flag invites is curiosity. Most people rebel and then they go, fuck you, I don't want it to. I'm saying have a conversation that you don't want to have. Instead of blowing up, go, I noticed this, you're treating me this way, but you're saying this way. And you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, I told you I don't want a relationship. And that means that you need to honor that you do want one. And that's not their fault. It's just as manipulative to let someone have intimacy with you when you're secretly holding on to a relationship desire and you're saying you're okay with casual sex. You're actually an important part of that really bad dynamic. Because your story is going to be the most beautiful story to tell people. He or she, it's usually about he, took advantage of me and said they didn't want a relationship, but then they were having sex with me. And it's like, yeah, but you said you didn't want one either and you wanted to have sex because